I think is strange.
It's strange.
We've talked before about the story about the 19-year-old guy, I think it was in Dallas, who they talked him into using a bomb and activating this bomb. You know, it was like some fundamentalist.
Right.
They talked him into doing this, but it was a fake bomb they gave him. And then when he went to activate this fake bomb, then they swooped in and took him.
Yeah.
Like they gave him the bomb. They told him to do it. And he was young and gullible and...
It's crazy what they do. This is kind of what they do. This is just the way they operate. And they don't want the way they operate to become public. So all of these things that happen.
But you got to think that also by doing that, you can infiltrate legitimately dangerous organizations and you can stop legitimately dangerous things from happening.
I think that's some of what they do.
That's probably the origins.
Some of it, sure.
The origins of it.
Some of it is, I think, good. I think the problem you run into with that is it's so murky.
Yeah.
And it's such a fine line when you're dealing with mentally unhealthy people. And when you compromise somebody or you recruit somebody as an informant, it's weighing on them. Yeah. They're crazy. They don't know what's going on. They're anxious. They're like, I think they promised this guy. Supposedly they might have, this guy, Tamerlan Tsarnaev or whatever, like might have been promised citizenship or they dangle carrots with people. They go, we'll make you say, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll give you money, we'll do that. And sometimes
what's the big conspiracy theory about the Boston bombings?
That the FBI, again, these are just guys that they were, probably trying to set up, and then the fucking bomb went off. Meaning that, again, it was just a similar thing where it's like the FBI had either recruited them or were in the process of trying to recruit them. And then, so if you come clean with that, the American public goes, what the fuck are you doing?
Right, but what the conspiracy theory, is it that the FBI...
is covering up that they had prior relationships with the Tsarnaevs, that they knew them, that there was any pre-existing relationship with them at all.
But there's not that they instigated this.
Well, what is instigated, right? That's a big question, right? Did they give them the bomb? We don't know, right? But but there are instances where they do give people stuff, right? Or they do allow people to purchase weapons, or they do, like, did they instigate the Whitmer kidnapping? Supposedly, they probably did. They're putting this idea.
The fact that there's 12
guys
out of 14 guys.
So when you talk about the Tsarnaevs, it is just weird that, number one, there's not a lot known about the trial. They put special administrative measures on the trial, which means that like nobody can really speak out about what happened. It's all very tightly controlled. Yeah. And they said it's national security. But then you're like, but you told us they weren't related to any terrorist thing. So why, if they're not related to any overseas terrorist cell and they acted alone, what the hell is national security? So again, you're just supposed to go like, hey, they got him. They got him. They got him. Well,
what's the alternative?
They treated Meghan Markle horribly. Like that's people like my aunt. They go, stop with that. Go to Markle now. Markle's racist to Meghan Markle. It's like it's just an endless circus of nonsense. You're never supposed to get in the weeds with anything, and if you do, you're meant to look insane. Because some of the people in the weeds are insane. Some of the people that will have the conversation I'm having right now are crazy.
Most.
So that becomes a problem. Your allies become people who are fucking nuts, and they're like, Chrissy Teigen has a tunnel under the and you go, okay, she doesn't. She does. She's selling fucking cookware. So you start looking into things. Dude, when you start looking into serial killers, it's crazy. Like when you start looking at Son of Sam and David Burke and this idea that there might have been more people doing that shit. Like there's been books written about the fact that David Berkowitz, like maybe didn't do all of those murders, but he was the guy that went down.
Did you send me the article about they never caught the guy who built the bomb?
I send you a lot of that stuff.
But didn't you send me it like yesterday?
I sent you an article today where it was a guy from the Boston Marathon bombing where he had gotten in some altercation with his parents and they ran in his house in, I don't know, Ipswich, which is the clam town, or all these places. Yeah. And they found like a pressure cooker bomb, and it was like the type of bomb that would have been used in the marathon. And they also proved that he knew Tamerlan Tsarnaev, like they had a connection. So it was like, they were like, is this the guy that built the bomb? So who knows? Michelle McPhee, who's a journalist in Boston, wrote the book, I think it was called Maximum Harm, about the Boston Marathon. She did a lot of great work on it, And she wrote a book basically kind of ripping the official story apart, going like, the feds are clearly covering up something here. And, it's interesting. And she's a fun journalist. I think she punched a cop or something. She did. She got a DUI and punched a cop. But something good. Boston. Good, Something good. I trust people. I trust you if you've done something like that.
Really? Why?
Yeah, if you've gotten drunk and like punched a cop, it's like, oh, okay. I get it. You know what I mean? It's like I'm more inclined to trust you in that scenario, But that's the thing. It's like you just gotta enjoy life because it is, you're never gonna figure it out. You're never gonna figure it out. You'll never figure it out. You'll never know. You'll never know what really went down.
No. And that's part of the purpose.
That's part of the purpose because there's so much noise and there's so much craziness. And people get mad at me and they're like, no, you're cynical and you tell people not to care. It's like, I'm not telling people not to care. I'm just telling people like just a certain amount of time to caring. It's like a diet. Don't consume too much.
Most people aren't good at that though.
It's like a diet.
With diets.
QAnon, here's the thing with diet. It's like you're supposed to take in a little bit of conspiracy every now and then. QAnon's Denny's. QAnon's just banana, salted caramel, pancake, like food that doesn't even make sense. Yeah. QAnon is everyday fast food. I tried to get, before we go, I wanted to get you a Comanche